The camera lights flickered as Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett leaned forward, her voice sharp and unwavering, slicing through the thick tension that hung in the Capitol studio like fog. "Let's talk about Melania Trump," she declared, silencing the murmurs of the panel and jolting the millions watching live. "While the nation was under lockdown, your First Lady was funneling charity funds into a private European account. Documents I now hold in my hand." Gasps echoed. Phones vibrated in real time across Washington. The producer motioned to cut, but it was too late. Jasmine stood, holding aloft a red folder labeled with the Department of Justice seal. "Don't worry, I made copies. And no, I didn't get these illegally," she added with a smirk. Somewhere in Trump Tower, Barron Trump, now 19 and fiercely protective of his family's legacy, stood frozen. His hand clenched around his phone. A rage he'd never felt before bubbled up. "She's lying. She's trying to destroy my mother," he hissed, pacing his suite, his breath ragged. Barron stared into the monitor, watching Crockett's words hit social media like a hurricane. "This isn't politics," he growled. "This is war." And with that, he dialed the NIPT, his voice cold. "I need to report a federal breach. Jasmine Crockett, right now." Two squad cars pulled up outside Jasmine Crockett's D.C. townhouse less than an hour later, red and blue lights painting the quiet street in chaos. Jasmine had just finished another virtual briefing when a hard knock at the door made her pause mid-sentence. "Congresswoman Crockett?" A voice called through the door, firm and official. "D.C. Metro Police. We need a moment of your time." Jasmine's chief of staff, Malik, rushed in, face pale. "Jas, something's going on. They say you've been accused of illegal possession of federal documents." Jasmine's jaw clenched. "Accused by who?" she asked, already knowing the answer. The officer at the door shifted uncomfortably. "A formal complaint was lodged by Barron Trump." Jasmine blinked in disbelief, a sharp laugh escaping her lips. "The kid? The one who posts luxury wristwatches and crypto memes?" She stepped outside, arms crossed, refusing to be intimidated. "Gentlemen, this is political retaliation, and you're being used as pawns in a game that boy doesn't even understand." Cameras were already rolling as neighbors peeked through curtains. "You're not arresting me, and unless you've got a warrant signed by a judge, and not by some spoiled rich kid with mommy issues, I suggest you back off," she said, her voice slicing the humid D.C. air. Meanwhile, inside Mar-a-Lago, Melania Trump stared silently at her phone as Barron stood beside her, breathing heavily. "I did it for you, mother," he whispered. But Melania, pale and unreadable, offered no comfort. "You may have made it worse," she said, her accent brittle with tension. "That woman has power, and you just gave her a bigger microphone." Jasmine Crockett didn't waste a second. Within hours, she was seated across from Anderson Cooper on CNN, the red folder placed defiantly on the glass table between them. "The truth doesn't care about rich boys throwing tantrums," she said, her voice steady, every syllable measured like a gavel strike. "Melania Trump was involved in an international laundering scheme that funneled charitable funds through a Slovenian shell company. This isn't speculation. This is documented." Anderson leaned in, stunned. "Congresswoman, you're saying the former First Lady committed federal crimes?" Jasmine met his eyes without flinching. "I'm saying she hasn't even begun to face the consequences." Meanwhile, in a sleek penthouse apartment above Manhattan, Barron Trump stood in front of a row of advisors, his expression taut with frustration. "We're losing control of the narrative," one of them said, tossing a printed headline onto the table. "Crockett's truth bomb sparks Dodge probe into Melania Trump's finances." Barron slammed his fist on the marble counter. "She's destroying our family." Piece by piece, a veteran fixer stepped forward, voice low and slick. "Then, we hit her back. Not through the courts, through perception." Within hours, a mysterious leak hit the internet. Grainy footage of Jasmine, years old, speaking candidly at a fundraiser about manipulating the press and knowing how to burn an opponent with timing. The clip lacked context, but it was explosive. Fox News called her a master manipulator. Hashtags trended. The tide was shifting. Jasmine watched the footage from her office, eyes narrowed. They want to play dirty? She muttered to Malik. Then we go nuclear. I've got recordings they don't know exist. You think Melania's charity scam is bad? Wait until the public hears about what happened in Dubai in 2021. Her eyes gleamed. We're past the point of no return. By the following morning, the nation was on fire. Jasmine Crockett had released a chilling audio recording allegedly capturing Melania Trump speaking with a foreign investor during a 2021 Dubai gala, her voice unmistakable as she spoke in guarded tones about redirecting unused COVID relief donations into safer, non-disclosed accounts. The implications were enormous: federal fraud, international collusion, and a former First Lady potentially violating sanctions. As the audio made its rounds, Department of Justice officials confirmed a preliminary investigation was now unavoidable. Barron Trump, glued to a private monitor at his Midtown media war room, stood deathly still. His phone buzzed again, this time from Ivanka. Barron, this isn't a campaign. This is a collapse, she said coldly. You picked a fight with someone trained for battle. She's not a Twitter troll, she's a federal pit bull. Barron's voice cracked slightly. I was protecting Mom, Ivanka sighed. You may have just buried her instead. Meanwhile, Jasmine stood behind a podium on the Capitol steps, cameras flashing like lightning bolts, her face fierce, radiant. I didn't start this, she began, but I damn sure won't let it end in silence. Behind her, protesters on both sides had gathered, one side screaming, "Lock her up," while the other chanted, "Truth to power." National tension crackled. Suddenly, Jasmine's security whispered into her ear. Secret Service agents just arrived. Melania's requesting emergency legal immunity talks. Jasmine raised an eyebrow, turned to the crowd, and smiled. Looks like someone's ready to talk. As the crowd erupted, Barron watched the coverage alone,